Okay, students, now we picked up another part of textiles and clothing, that is laundry. Means washing and cleaning of the clothes. Now in this we are going to see about dry cleaning. How the things are dry cleaned, what is the purpose of dry cleaning. The topics which we are going to cover under this is purpose of dry cleaning, difference between wet and dry methods of cleaning, dry cleaning agents, precautions during dry cleaning, at the same time, advantages and disadvantages of dry cleaning. This is what we are going to discuss in this session. Now, why do we go for dry cleaning of certain clothes? So, this is to tell you that why dry cleaning is required for certain fabrics and not for all of them. It is also a different cleaning process, like we do cleaning with water, and this it is called dry cleaning. That means it is without water, but it uses solvents other than water. So that is why it is called dry cleaning, because the term wet is specifically used for water. In case of dry cleaning also, the clothes are actually soaked, not in water but in solvents. Now, purpose of dry cleaning, it is necessary for certain fabrics which cannot be washed with water, with the use of water. If we use water with certain fabrics, they may get spoiled completely, and that is why we use dry cleaning method to clean them. Then dry cleaning is necessary to remove certain stains that cannot be removed by wet cleaning method. We may rub any amount of soap, we may scrub with brush or any harsh thing, but a particular stain may not go. But when we give it for dry cleaning, the stain can be easily removed by the absorbents and solvents. Now, some of the fabrics can be damaged by water, especially the delicate fabrics, and that may alter their structure. But during the dry cleaning process, this does not happen, because the fabric may swell, stretch, and lose its shape or lose its structure. So that is why certain clothes are necessarily dry cleaned. Then, what is the difference between 1 minute? Dry cleaning process. Sorry. Dry cleaning process is complete in 4 major parts. If we look at the process, it can be divided into 4 parts, and because the dry cleaning is done by machines. Of course, human beings run those machines, but it is done by machines. For those dry cleaning process, first we need holding tanks. What all is required? That is what we are going to discuss. Holding tank, those tanks hold the solvents. These tanks hold the solvents. Then a circulating pump. Now the function of circulating pump is to circulate the solvent through the machine. Then filters, they are used for trapping the solid impurities and other dirt removed from the fabric. A cylinder where the clean items are placed. Once they are cleaned, they are placed in the cylinder. Extraction cycle. This extraction cycle is running the cylinder like you have in your washing machine, and that removes the excess of solvent, and excess of solvent is then filtered and transferred back to the holding tanks. Then the clothes, once they are gone through this all 5 steps, then they are dried in cylinder drum only because of the circulation. The solvent gets extracted, it goes back to the holding tank after being filtered, and the clothes are being run in the cylinder itself, and they dry completely there itself. Then, which clothes should be dry cleaned? We must know that which are the clothes we should go for dry cleaning, and we should not wash them at home, otherwise they will get damaged. In fact, if you look at the garment, especially the ready-made garments, you'll find a label there, and label tells you very clearly that which cleaning method should be applied for that particular garment. In fact, if it is made up of some particular fiber, there will be complete instructions that it should be hand washed, or it should be dry cleaned, or it should be machine washed, then it shouldn't be washed with the scrubbing and all that, then how it should be washed in the machine, or how it should be ironed for that matter. So, fabrics, especially like fabric like velvet, wool, delicate fabrics like laces, nets, furs, or when you have some beautiful zari work on your suits or on your saris, such fabrics need to be dry cleaned. We just cannot wash them at home. Suits, vests, garment with lining, leather garments, overcoats should always be dry cleaned, because cleaning them at home is not possible. Then certain other fabrics cannot be ironed but need to be pressed, and this is done only by the machine in the dry cleaning unit. They cannot be ironed directly from the iron which we use at home, because we use iron because the surface area of the fabric or of the garment is small, so we can iron them. But when the surface area is bigger, then we need to press it. And generally, woolens are pressed, they are never ironed. Nobody uses direct iron on the woolen fabrics or woolen garments. Then we have the difference between wet and dry methods of cleaning. Now, what is the basic difference between the two? Naturally, the wet method means use of water. Dry method does not require water, but it uses solvents. Then, in this case, clothes are soaked in water along with cleaning agent, any kind of soap or detergent in which we soak. Sometimes, if they are very dirty, we soak it in warm water. Sometimes, when they are normal, generally dirty, we soak them in cold water also. Clothes are soaked in water, free liquid, that means solvent. There is no water present in the solvent. That is perchloroethylene, or it is also called perc. Other solvents which are used for dry cleaning are petrol, benzene, acetone, etc. Dry cleaning method also uses absorbents like French chalk or talcum powder, etc. When we have a stain, suppose there is a grease stain on my silk dress, then how can I remove it? I may spread some French chalk or some talcum powder and keep a absorbing paper and then iron it, so that the talcum powder and the absorbent paper takes up all the grease from the fabric only after running the iron, so that the grease dissolves, melts and comes into talcum powder or in that absorbent paper. Then another difference between the two is, in wet method the clothes are cleaned by using actions like rubbing, scrubbing, rinsing, etc. Now here in dry cleaning method, the dirt and grease is loosened first from the fabric with the help of brush, and then solvents are used to clean the fabric. There is no scrubbing, brushing or rinsing, etc. there in the dry method. To remove soap traces, the clothes are rinsed 3 to 4 times in water in case of wet method. But when we look at the dry method, no water is required for rinsing. Excess of solvent is removed by centrifuging machine, or that cylinder machine in which the clothes rotate. Same technique is used in the washing machine also. Then another difference, clothes are then dried, blues and starch is applied according to the fabric. No drying, no bluing, no starching is required in the dry cleaning method. Then soap and water emulsify the grease. The process of wet cleaning is that water and soap get together, and whatever grease is there, it gets emulsified and then removed. Now, in this case, in case of dry methods, the grease is dissolved in a solvent. When we dip the or soak the garment in the solvent, all the grease gets dissolved, and then it is the absorbents are used. Then it is absorbed by the absorbents. So these are the basic differences between the dry and wet methods. Then there are dry cleaning agents. Now, dry cleaning agents are of two types. Number one is absorbents. We have been talking about all these things, so you'll come to know what are absorbents and what are solvents. So, two types, absorbents and solvents. Now, what are absorbents? They are in the form of dry powder and basically used on oil or grease stains, as they have property of absorbing the oily liquid or semi-liquid. Because they are dry, they are powders, they can absorb the liquid or semi-liquid oily things in themselves. They are very commonly used, and the commonly used absorbents are Fuller's Earth. It's in the powder form, chalk powder, which you know, that the chalk which you use on the board, the same chalk powder. Talcum powder, you know that what is talcum powder. Bran, now anybody knows bran? Bran is the husk removed from the, by sifting the flour. When we sieve the flour, wheat flour, then we get those brown small little pieces. That is bran, that is the husk of the wheat. So if we apply that also, it also absorbs the stain, especially greasy stain. Salt, bread takes up the liquid, breadcrumbs or blotting paper. French chalk and powdered sulfur is specially used for grease stains because they have the power to absorb grease very quickly. The absorbents are spread over the stain and rubbed into the stain or pressed indirectly by applying heat to absorb oil or grease stain. How absorbents are used in dry cleaning? First of all, a brush is used to remove the dirt and the dust. First, we take the garment and brush it properly so that any dirt and dust over the surface can be removed easily. In case of less dirty articles, the absorbent powder is sprinkled over so that it absorbs any embedded grease or any other kind of wet kind of stains. Then when the article is heavily soiled, a paste of the absorbent is made and applied on the stained areas. The article is kept till the paste dries. Suppose I make a paste of talcum powder and apply it over a greasy stain. So till the paste dries, the garment will not be touched for the next process. Then the dried paste is brushed off gently. So this is how absorbents are used in dry cleaning, especially to remove the stains. Now the solvents, these are liquids like petrol, benzene, kerosene, carbon tetrachloride, ether or perc. These solvents help in dissolving the grease or any other kind of dirt and release the dirt from the fabric and make the fabric absolutely clean. Then we have how these solvents help in dry cleaning, how these solvents work upon to clean the fabric. Now take the stained area, how we have to remove the stain. Take the stained area over the palm to brush off dry and loose dirt. First of all, we'll use the brush to remove dry dirt or loose dirt. Then spread an absorbent paper on a flat surface and spread the stained area over the paper. Take a blob of cotton, just a cotton ball, dip it in the solvent and rub that cotton ball over the stained area. Now the cotton blob or the cotton ball will pick up the dirt from the surface and the remaining dirt will get absorbed by the paper underneath. We have spread a paper underneath, so From the top surface, the cotton ball will remove the dirt and the dust, and if anything else is there at the back side will be absorbed by the paper which we have spread underneath. If there are only few spots needed to be cleaned, then it is done by spot cleaning. But here the cotton ball can be used over the stain in a circular motion. Where, now this is important, where the hand moves from outer edge of the stain towards the center of the stain. We just don't rub it in any way or every way. No, we just cannot do it straight or diagonal or this thing. But we have to take the blob, dip it in a solvent, and then start going around the stain from the outer edge to the inner side, to the center of the stain. And when the entire cloth is needed to be cleaned, then we brush the loose dirt and dip naturally when entire cloth has to be kneaded, it has to be dipped in the solvent, and then it is washed by squeezing and kneading methods or by centrifugal method. So this is how solvents help in cleaning the garment. After that, squeeze out the solvent and spread the cloth for drying, or the fabric or the garment for drying. Press the cloth to bring shine and shape. Precautions during dry cleaning at home. Suppose we are using solvents or absorbents at home to clean the fabrics. Then what precautions we must follow? We must remember that we have to work in an open area which is well ventilated, because the solvents which we are using, like you can well imagine petrol, they are highly volatile and they can cause harm if the vapors are accidentally inhaled. Benzene, when we are using benzene, if we inhale the vapors, then it can harm the person who's trying to clean. There shouldn't be any fire source or inflammable material nearby, because all these solvents which we are using, you know that they are highly volatile, they catch fire very easily, they are highly inflammable. So there shouldn't be a gas cylinder or gas burner or candle or lamp. Such things should not be in vicinity. Now for stains, should be removed first by the method of spot cleaning. We discussed the spot cleaning, that we should work to clean the stain from outer edge to inner edge. Now that process is called spot cleaning. Now used solvents should be thrown after use. We should not store those solvents because they have taken all the dirt and the dust and they cannot be reused. Absorbents should be used carefully. Now when we are using those powdery things which are called absorbents, we should use them very carefully. There shouldn't be direct airflow from any of the window, or there shouldn't be fan running above the person who's working with the absorbents. What will happen? If the fan is running or if the window is open and there's a gush of wind going through where the person is working, the powder with which the person is working may blow and spread around. And maybe if the wind is too strong, then it can fly all over and cause the harm to the person who's cleaning that. So next we see the advantages of dry cleaning. What are the various advantages of dry cleaning? Now dry cleaning is the process because it doesn't use water. So it preserves the brightness, shine and color of the garment as it is. Solvent dissolve the grease and oil stains better than water. Then since it is most gentle way of cleaning, so the delicate fabrics like zari saris, silk saris, woolen garments can be easily washed by dry cleaning, easily cleaned by dry cleaning method, and they will not get damaged at all. If we are going to wash them with water, we may knead them, we may squeeze them, and we may spoil the shape of the garment. Then dry cleaning is less abrasive and does not damage the fiber of a garment. Now we are not using our hands to clean the garment. We are just dipping it in the solvent, and through machines the solvent is extracted, and the fabric or the cloth or the garment is dried in that with that centrifugal system. So we are not touching the garment. So the garment doesn't get damaged because there is no abrasion, there is no harsh method like scrubbing and brushing is used over the fabric surface. Then a detailed attention is to be given to the garment. Hence, even a tiny spot of stain gets cleaned by dry cleaning. What do we do in washing by water? We just pour some detergent and soak the fabric and just either scrub it or knead it and squeeze it and rinse it and dry it. So we are not paying attention to each and every spot or stain which may be there. But in dry cleaning, the whole fabric, suppose it's a sari, so the person will open the sari and see every part. That 5 meter sari will be seen, every part of the sari will be checked for even a tiny spot, and that will be removed with the stain removal or absorbents, and then only it will be dry cleaned. Another advantage is huge and heavy items like curtains, carpets, rugs, sofa covers, which we cannot wash at home. We cannot put them even in the machine, can be dry cleaned easily. Then dry cleaning method suits all kinds of fabric. Actually, every kind of fabric can be dry cleaned. There is no chance of shrinkage in dry cleaning. Suppose you bought a new dress of cotton and you washed at home, and the fabric was not pre-shrunk. That those methods, mercerization and sanforization, so if those methods are not being applied on that fabric, when you wash it in water, what will happen? Your dress will shrink and it may not fit you. But in case of dry cleaning, there is no shrinkage because we are not using water at all. Then dry cleaning does not flatten the pile of velvet. When we are cleaning the velvet, if we wash it with the water, the pile will be disturbed completely. But when we are dry cleaning it, the velvet pile remains the same. It doesn't get disturbed. That is why dry cleaning is more suited to such fabrics. Then we'll see the disadvantages of dry cleaning. It is naturally, we cannot go and give every and any garment for dry cleaning because it's an expensive method. Then polychloroethylene and other solvents can cause damage to kidney, liver, brain in case of workers. Those who are working with these solvents and absorbents can develop some kind of liver or kidney or brain diseases. These solvents also contaminate water supply. When they are thrown into the water, they also contaminate because they are chemicals basically. So they are contaminating the nearby source of water wherever that dry cleaning unit is there. Now it is time consuming because once you have to go and give the garment, then you have to go again to bring back the garment which has been dry cleaned, and the shopkeeper also gives you time. When you go give any of the garment or any of the article for dry cleaning, he gives you a date that you come, and those dates are 3, 4 days, 5 days afterwards. So that is why it is time consuming, because you have to go give the garment, then go get it back, and at the same time you have to wait for 3 to 4 days till it is dry cleaned. Then perc is a pollutant and it persists in nature and is considered as contaminant. It is a very strong contaminant for water and environment. Then perc is commonly used solvent and is categorized as carcinogenic. Perc is most commonly used for dry cleaning, but it is being categorized as carcinogenic. That It can cause excess use of excess breathing. In excess breathing, if that perk keeps going inside our body, inside our lungs, this can cause cancer. And it is also toxic to the reproductive system, skin and respiratory system. So it is a kind of chemical which is harmful for the human beings. Then smell of solvents. When you get clothes dry cleaned, there is a particular smell in those garments of the solvents used. So we have to air those garments for some time. Only then, when the smell goes away, we can wear them. And there are some people who are allergic to these smells. So once they get the dry cleaned clothes, they cannot immediately wear them. They have to wait till the smell is finished or there's no more smell. So airing has to be done. So these are some of the methods how dry cleaning has to be done. What is the purpose of dry cleaning? What different things are used for dry cleaning? How dry cleaning is done? How stain is removed? And what are the advantages and disadvantages of dry cleaning? So, in the next class, we'll discuss something else.